know that anyone's gonna jump in here tonight or not, and that's okay if they don't. Don't know that anyone's gonna jump in here tonight or not, and that's okay if they don't. Okay. Got my audio working right. Irregardless of who all shows up, who all doesn't. At least I sound good. If I sound bad, please let me know. Hey, live feeding ASMR. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Everyone always razzes me about my lives and about how I would get more traffic if I would stick to a schedule for lives, but I kind of like to not do that. I like my lives to be spontaneous and have a feel, be focused and not too long. Live Freedom, glad to see you jump in here. And I've been meaning to get over there, and I keep checking, but I don't find anyone in video chat, so no, I'll have to make it a point to get over there and camp for a while. Ariel, rolling one of your playlists right now as we speak. That nature channel you've got, that nature playlist is got some good stuff on it. Yeah, I always appreciate you stopping by live feeding ASMR. I need to get caught up on your videos. I do have StreamYard. I rarely bring guests on. I kind of I'm not opposed to having guests. It's just kind of a lot of times the guests I want to have, either it doesn't work out, I go on too late, whatever. And, it's kind of a situation where, like I said, I like my lives to be focused. And a lot of times to line up a guest, it's kind of hard. And sometimes I do go through StreamYard and have a link where I can drop a link. But a lot of times before, when I've dropped links, I'm not trying to rip on anybody, but I drop the link, and then it's I start getting messages, well, how do I do this, or how do I this or that, and it's not working, and it's and I wind up using half my lifetime instructing them on how to get it to work. And it's just kind of one of those things where I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but and then other times I've brought on guests before and they act weird, or I don't know, it's just something or another. I did a live about a week ago, but I felt I really kind of had the negative vibes going on, so I went ahead and pulled it. I don't want something out there that I won't be able to watch a year later and be like, what were you thinking? Kind of concept. So, live feeding, are you saying that because you'd like to be a guest sometime? Let me know, because we might communicate on that, because we might have some cool stuff to talk about. But it just seems like sometimes dropping a link can be troublesome. A lot of times people join up, and it's not their fault if they have a bad connection, but it's you can sit there for 5 minutes and try to get the video back. And so I'm really kind of a little, I don't say put off with having guests, but I kind of generally like to tackle an issue. I like to be guests on other people's lives, because a lot of times I feel like I can add to their conversation, and sometimes someone could add to mine. That's workable. Life freedom, work got me busy. I understand that. we own 3 cars, and right now only one of them is working. Um, so I'm kind of stuck at home. We're having like the huge snake outbreak of the spring is happening this week. The weather's perfect, conditions are perfect, everything's moving, high temperatures, and I'm stuck at home. I mean, I could get out some, but it's like I also don't want my wife to be at home and need to do something, and me need to get back, and me be in BFE, Egypt, somewhere like that, and not be able to get a call from her. So that's kind of putting a little bit of a damper on it. Hello, Fungus Queen. Did you like my tarantula short? I think you liked my tarantula short. He's still out there. I just filmed another video for my dog channel with that on there. So, you know, it's what it is. I thought you would like that, and I thought Mark the Spider Guy, if he stops by, will like it. He stops by once in a while. I get by his once in a while. No, I sympathize life freedom. I've been caught up with so much stuff just around the house that like, and I haven't been in the mood to sit down and edit any like real video. I'm looking forward, Ariel, to seeing that. I'm working on. I want to see your new intro. I would love to see it. You know, before anyone else does. I think I should get that kind of perk, but I'm that kind of guy. So, well, Fungus Queen, I have like I personally have a great internet connection, and I kind of live in the middle of nowhere. But where they teed it off to when they put in the internet here, like I have my own dedicated fiber optic cable just for my house, which is like really weird. I don't know how that works. But I get really good internet service here, better than when I lived in the city. So I'm not complaining. But at the same time, like sometimes I drop on a guest, and it's just it just kind of winds up being more work. You know, but like I said, anyone hit me up at Wagoner County Snake Hunter on Instagram if you want to do a live with me and cover like a certain topic. Brad Clark, how you doing? E-Reptile, glad to hear you're editing a video. It looks like you've been busy and been getting out some. I'm happy to see that. Hey, please do, Ariel. That would be great. And I'm kind of got a bit of a bone stuck in my or chip on my shoulder, something. Don't exactly know what you would call it, but I came to this channel through a freak incident, got monetized, then lost the ad revenue for that channel. I still get subscription revenue, but it's like pennies. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, I've kind of been a little bit down on YouTube lately. I've kind of made a few dog videos for my dog channel, a couple of shorts for my drone channel, but I haven't even been able to get out and fly my drone. And this is not the best time of the year for that because it's so windy in Oklahoma in the spring. But I did get some footage from not too long ago, and I'm going to kind of do a western diamondback, rattlesnakes in an unknown, or not an unknown, but an unlikely spot type video. I found some like far out of their known habitat where they're really common at in the state. And it's definitely kind of more of a woodland type vibe. But I'm also kind of like waiting to get like the B-roll that I want and some other shots that I want and things like that. I'm kind of wanting to be a little bit more artistic in my videos. Don't know if that's going to translate well because a lot of people I think come to my channel and they expect me to get right to the action. And that to me is always a good thing. You know, I honestly, opinions differ on this, but I will say I stand a much better chance of watching 90% of your 5-minute video than I do 90% of your 15-minute video, 20, 30-minute video. Some of these people, even big creators like on the drone side, that like I'm like a big fan of and want to definitely do more of this year. You're people like Jevon Dovey and people like they put out these 35-minute videos. I never make it through all of them. If anything, what I do is I click on and go through the chapters and see, like, is there anything in here I want to see? Then a lot of times I click off. Now, I'm not going to hurt Jevon Dovey's channel by doing that. And the guy's got, like, I think 1 million subs or something. He's got a lot of subs. But at the same time, it's like I like Dylan Young's channel for drone stuff, literally, because, like, he breaks everything down by topic. He's like, here's what you need to do, and here's 3 minutes of video. Once again, I'm not going to sit through 35 minutes of video trying to get to the one thing that I need to see when someone like Dylan Young has covered it in 2.5 minutes or 4 minutes. Definitely, guys, if you want to drop your links in chat, let me know. If you want your link dropped and you don't have a hammer, let me know. DA Exotics, how are you doing, dude? I've been kind of just slammed busy this last couple of weeks, but I do want to reschedule with you and Gary soon. You see, eReptile, I'm the same way, and that's why I prefer to do the shorter videos. Yeah, Fungus Queen, I saw that. My buddy was actually in the car with that guy. He's a storm chaser named Mike Scantlin. And he rides around with Reed Timmer quite a bit. They're good friends. And he's a storm chaser for our NBC affiliate here in Tulsa. And I want to say that after the drone got lost from that Andover footage, he went and found the guy's drone. And, it's pretty awesome. And then I heard that Ledka's town, you guys know Ledka, or most of you guys know Ledka, not all of them. Not everyone in here will know Ledka, but a lot of you guys will know Ledka. And his town, Seminole, I think, is where he is. I'm not sure. But they got hit. Like, their town took, like, a direct hit from a smaller tornado. And it was kind of sad because I think his wife's business got wrecked. DEA will send you a message. I will probably go to Reptipost after here and try to throw on some pics or something. I've been trying to get to Reptipost once a day. And it's a cool little website. And anyway, I'm trying to get by there once a day. And guys, check out reptipost.com. That's all one word, reptipost.com. I would really be tickled. I know eReptile, you're there. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. I hope that works. But either way, that's it. If you Google search reptipost.com, you'll find it. It's a good little site. I want to say it was built by one of Andrew's friends, DEA Exotics. And it's kind of a place where you can get around a lot of the stuff you don't want to mess with on Facebook. Also, I kind of like newer platforms, smaller colonies, so to speak. Kind of at the point where I'm like not so worried about getting subscribers or getting views as much as I'm just worried about making videos that I'm happy with. And that's why I'm going to try to add some like B-roll and stuff to some things that I just kind of feel like, yeah, I could release this video here and now. But at the same time, I kind of want to do work a little more, a few more things into it. And I don't really know. I just kind of am in a bit of a creative funk. I've got tons of stuff I've shot. I just have not wanted to sit down and edit it lately. Connor, welcome aboard. Good to see you here. I want to say I thought I saw Connor pop in here. No, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I can't see the big screen with my glasses real well. I have to lean in. Yeah, eReptile. I tell you what, sometimes smaller platforms or newer growing platforms are great places to establish audiences, because you throw a post in there and like with Reptipost, I don't know how many people are currently on there. I know I've got like 5 or 6 friends. And let's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 6 friends on Reptipost. I don't know how many people are on it altogether. And I do wish to apologize to anyone over there if I've sent them a friend request, and they've, like, for whatever reason, decided not to have me as a friend. I understand, no need for explanation, but if I've sent you a second one, my apologies. I've got 4 YouTube channels. You know, I get a lot of notifications and things, so I sometimes forget where I am, what I do. Either way, I'm kind of on a journey to drink more water and start sleeping a little more regular hours now that I have reason to be up in the day. Thank you for that reminder, Miss Ariel. And I tell you, I was a little put off by the reptile community's reaction to Jean de Leon, I believe is the pronunciation, who passed away last week. He was a rattlesnake handler in Texas. And while he was doing something which caused a bite, I don't want to say, well, technically, yeah, I would go ahead and call it stupid. I'm not a fan of free handling. I don't care if you do it. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I'm not going to watch your channel if you have that on there. Generally, well, I should say if you have that on there for the purpose of gaining views, gaining subs, stuff like that, I'm not into it. But I was a little put out with the reptile community's reaction to that whole incident, because people are acting like this was some kind of victory for snakes. And no, it's like this news story about this guy dying from snake bite. Doesn't matter that the bite was totally preventable. It doesn't matter that he was doing something stupid with the snake. You have a person that's dead, and they're going to say because of a snake. That is never a win for snakes. And a lot of people tend to labor under the assumption that everybody involved with a roundup hates snakes. They do not. I do know people. I know reptile breeders that participate in these events. People with like ball python collections. Hey, Survival, glad you could stop by while you could stop by. I know you can't ever stay here long, and I know I hit it late, but I've been meaning to roll some of your playlists, so bud, be patient. I'll be back around. Live feeding ASMR. You have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 concurrent hours of watch time. What that means is you have to have 4,000 hours within the same 365-day period. You would not be eligible for monetization under YouTube's current standards, which kind of sucks, because like I kind of wish they would not set the bar as high as they do. And another thing about that is my other channel I worked on for 4 years. And I'm still working on it, still throwing things on. and stuff. And it's called the Angry Atrox. Most of you guys are already subbed to it. If not, check it out. If you want to, if you do. If you don't, you don't. But literally, like I worked for three. Hey Chris, I see you popping in here. I'll tell you this much. I worked on this channel releasing a weekly video shot in the field every week for 3 years, and I got to about 400 subs. I got included in two different larger creators shout out videos, and I started taking off sub-wise, at least over there on that channel. And I got over 1,000 subs. I'm nowhere close to the watch hours. That's why I do some lives from over there. Hey Brad, can't remember if I said hi to you or not. Glad you stopped in. I'm glad I started catching your lives. I did not know you had started doing lives. So, and that's good stuff. Once again, this is a way to get some watch hours, guys. So, I kind of was like not big on lives, but after a while, I'm kind of like, maybe I should start getting a little bigger on lives. Mr. J, you're another dude. I need to catch up and catch your videos. Yeah, I'm kind of, everyone showing up has reminded me that like how much of a bum I've been lately. It's not really been that I've been a bum. I'm kind of a little burnout on things, and I kind of just keep going there back and forth. I'm good, Mr. J. How are you? Hey, Solo, how are you? And but anyway, right now, getting back to live feeding ASMR's questions. You have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours in the same annual period for monetization. Yeah, definitely. Wadi Reptile said, definitely do it, Fungus Queen, but no, it's hard to film by yourself. It's to me, it's kind of even harder when you specialize in venomous stuff because you have to a lot of times control the snake because they want to get away. But anyway, guy died last week in Texas, or a week and a half ago, from a rattlesnake bite. I do believe it was totally preventable. The guy was free handling. And it's nothing new to that scene. The people who work around rattlesnake roundups, a lot of them have been bit several times. It's not, and it's never a victory when someone gets hurt for the snakes. It's kind of like, it's almost like rodeo in a way. It's dangerous, people do it, and when someone gets hurt, no, people aren't, people, I wouldn't say they blame the animals much in rodeos they would in something like a free handling festival. But, but at the same time, when it's getting around that someone died because of a reptile, it's just not a good thing. They do make chest phone clamps for snake handlers or for vloggers. I will say, look for an iPhone or an Android chest harness. Is what I would say, because they do make those, and I know a lot of people that use them. They also use those like chest clamps for GoPros, or head clamps for GoPros, hat clamps for GoPros. But anyway, back to this other guy who unfortunately passed away. A lot of people are saying, hey, do stupid things, win stupid prizes. I understand that. Hey, Moon. I totally understand it. But at the same time, think about this. My dad hated snakes. He wouldn't let any of them live. I think his fear and hatred of snakes kind of played into my fascination with them. Now, he would not go in a building full of snakes. He was not going to the reptile house at the zoo. He hates snakes. He didn't like snakes. He kind of did towards the end of his life, because of me, and he'd see what I would do. I think he got an appreciation for, hey, they are just another animal. But I want you to ask yourself a question. Would someone who hates snakes want to do free handling with snakes? I'd really like to see some responses in the chat because that's a misnomer about the whole roundup culture that gets circulated by the reptile community. And I'm not saying I agree with roundups or like them in any way. I don't. I'm kind of like a let's leave wild snakes be wild guy as much as possible. I do understand collecting to add for like bloodlines and things. I'm not against like collecting done in small amounts. I do veer away from commercial collection. Right, e-reptile, and that's kind of what I'm getting at is I've kind of noticed from my travels and video documentation, photo documentation of the roundups in Oklahoma and Texas that there are people there that that this is a way for them to play with venomous snakes and show the public about them. And doesn't mean I agree with it. Doesn't mean I agree with what they do, but not everybody there hates snakes. There are some there that do. There are some that do, and then there's some that just are like, I don't hate deer, but I eat deer. The funny thing is, man, in Texas and Oklahoma, people, and some other places as well, people do eat snake. I tried it once. We'll never try it again. It sucks. It doesn't taste like chicken. I'm kind of noted for my tagline of, it doesn't taste like chicken, it tastes like a damn snake. Right, Ariel. It's like, and I don't think that necessarily free handling a creature, a venomous creature, really gives that animal the respect it deserves. But once again, 40 years messing with venomous snakes, over 40, and no bites, there's a reason. It's because tools are the only way to go with venomous snakes. I'm not going to hate on someone for free handling, be they pet tuber, be they just serious venomous keeper, or be them a roundupper. I'm not going to hate someone for free handling. But to see the hate dished out from the reptile community, I think it really makes us look bad because people are saying, stuff like, one less person around and one less roundupper. And when non-snake people see this, I feel it's been my observation, and I've talked to people who've told me this, that they view comments like those as these people care more about a snake's life than a person's life. And so I think it's not winning as friends when we make those kinds of comments. I really don't. I think they're like actually setting the cause back to some degree. Once again, so many people are sharing this article about this guy that died. The rattlesnake portion of the Freer, Texas roundup was, as I understand, almost dead. They were probably on the verge of getting rid of it. I don't even know that they buy snakes from the wild anymore. I couldn't find any hunters that told me they were still buying. And I know a lot of people who rattlesnake hunt commercially, and even though I disagree with them, I still talk to them to get information. And for what it's worth, I just don't think it's good to celebrate someone's death. And once again, did the guy deserve it or was it preventable or stuff like that? It's definitely preventable. But, did this guy deserve to die? From free handling a rattlesnake, this guy was not involved in the killing of rattlesnakes, to the best of my knowledge. A lot of times that's a separate area, and one or two main people are the butchers. And once again, I don't endorse eating snake meat either. It's nasty. But you kind of got to look at both sides of it and say, why would someone walk around a pit full of rattlesnakes and show them off to people and stuff if they weren't at least curious about them themselves or enjoyed them or liked messing with them? We can do a debate about free handling sometime, ASMR. I am so don't take this the wrong way, ASMR, because that's a great topic. But like after everything that like Derek and some of the others went through from a certain individual within the community, I'm kind of like hoping I don't hear about a live feeding issue for a long time, because it's just one of those things where it's like, to me, I'm like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. um yeah, Mr. J, we're talking about live feeding. Trying to run people who are USART contributors out of the community when their monetized YouTube channel is how they're donating to USARC seems kind of counterproductive. So I would let that comment sit and rotate in someone's head for a bit. If you don't like them and then you call them out, you actually give them more attention. And so that's kind of my take on it. I feel like a lot of those people that got attacked, their sub counts actually went up. Exactly. Yeah, Mr. J, live prey feedings. I don't think anyone gets too worked up about frozen thawed feedings, although you never know. Exactly, Iron Dog. He made a bad decision. It wasn't his first bite. And a lot of times, I've known people, one of my friends in Oklahoma died from a rattlesnake bite. It was his fourth bite, and on his third bite, he was told, do not mess with these things ever again, because we cannot treat you. We cannot give you the anti-venom again. His body, I don't know if it had a bad reaction to it or what. I didn't get the full story on it. But what I'm certain of is he got told, do not mess with a snake ever again. And then he was doing a relocation and was putting a snake in the bucket with tongs and putting the lid back on the bucket, the exact same kind of buckets that I use to transport anything I do. And Iron Dog's seen my bucket set up before. But like somehow, the snake popped up and got him when he was putting the lid on. He probably wasn't paying attention, but he laid in a hospital in Oklahoma City and just sadly died. And once again, yeah, it's like there is an inherent risk in messing with venomous snakes. That's why I am so, I don't want to say anti-free handling, because I don't want to dish hate on anyone who free handles, irregardless of the reason. I do feel a lot of people do it for views and do it for like sensationalistic type kind of purposes. And I'm sitting there going, if that's the way you have to get attention, no offense, I'm not down. I'm just not. I'm not going to be. I've been around it all long enough, and I've seen a lot of snake bites. I've seen people lose fingers. I've seen people get $300,000 hospital bills. I've seen people die. I mean, I've seen people die, and that's the end of it for me. It's like I still love venomous snakes. They're fascinating animals, but like Joe Pittman's shirt that he says Florida Snakebite Institute, that guy, he has that T-shirt that says "Don't be a fool, use your tools." Okay, some people defend free handling. Knock yourself out. You're entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to mine, but an $80 pair of tongs or a $40 snake hook to me beats a $200,000 hospital bill, or $40,000 after insurance if it covers that much. It's just my 2 cents. Good point, live feeding. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like driving motorcycles is dangerous. But even when someone dies doing something stupid on a motorcycle, still, you don't have people going, I'm glad that guy's dead. I'm glad that guy is dead, and, yay, and just celebrating someone's death, literally, it kind of makes me want to distance myself from those people in the reptile community that do things like that. And sadly, some of them are high profile people. Um, exactly, Iron Dog. A snake strike can be very fast. It can be very unpredictable. A lot of people think they can read snakes, and I can tell you that to some degree, they're probably right. They probably can read them. But I've also seen people that their luck has ran out. Um, I've seen people who have free handled thousands of venomous snakes, and they do so for 20 years, never get bit. Then one time they go a different direction, and they get bit, or something happens, they get bit, and then sometimes, sadly, that does lead to death or severe injury. Yeah, exactly. They're too fast to free handle. Any venomous snake is, to me, not worth free handling. I probably would a coral snake to some degree, because even though they're venomous, highly toxic, it's kind of like if you get them by the tail and you get them in the right spot, you probably could free handle it. But if you got bit, you would be in severe trouble. So I would probably like that was something like that but then even then I'd probably still be using a hook. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like to get that space between me and the animal and control part of the animal. But exactly, Moon. And Mr. J, that's a good question for tonight's live. Um, People free handle venomous snakes because um, there's an adrenaline rush. It's, adrenaline junkie type people. For the same reason that people do rodeo. I mean, rodeo is inherently dangerous. I grew up around rodeo. My dad was a bull rider, but he was scared to death of snakes. But he was a bull rider. He'd go get on an 900 pound bull that would stomp him and kill him if it got the chance. That's before they had all the protective gear too. That was back in the 60s. But a lot of people just really, I think they get off on the rush, or they get off on the attention. Going to roundups for as long as I have, I can tell you that a lot of people will sit there and watch someone free handle a rattlesnake for 20 minutes and be mesmerized. To me, I know some of the trickery involved. I know they don't go for the, snakes that are acting defensive. They go for the snakes that look easy to handle, things like that. They're selective in their pickings. And honestly, a lot of people in the herp community are major free handlers, and I don't think that's going to get like new legislation passed. I think what keepers need to watch out for most is escapes. Like when a venomous animal escapes into an urban setting, it's just a recipe for disaster. When a large constrictor escapes into an urban setting, and I still don't know what happened up in Canada. It was like 10 years ago. I want to say it's 2012. A giant, like, African rock python fell through this guy's apartment roof, and on top of two young kids that were laying in bed, and for some reason constricted them. I don't know if he felt they were a threat, or if he was, if it was a feeding response. I still don't know what to think of that whole situation, because I would think that snake would suffer a fall, then be shocked and startled, and it would like go for its first hiding place. Why it killed two kids, and this is a large non-venomous constrictor, which those guys also deserve a lot of respect. And I don't feel they always get it from some large names in the hobby. I kind of hope I don't get attacked, but alas, the video's out there. E-Reptile, Cobra escaped in North Texas 2 years ago. I don't know if that's the same Cobra. No, you said North Texas. I remember a kid in Austin in the Round Rock area who let his cobra bite him and then he let it go out of his car. And he technically committed suicide by cobra. And a guy named Tim, who's out of the Austin area, is kind of a reptile relocator guy. He found the cobra dead on like I-35 or that main highway that goes into Austin. The cobra got loose like in a Lowe's parking lot is where the guy like set it loose after he let it bite him. And why you would do that, I don't know. You know, I agree, Iron Dog. Free handlers are pushing the limits more and more. And doing stuff like that is, to me, I don't like it. I think it makes us look like daredevil thrill seekers. And once again, those types have always been with us. I'm not going to hate on someone or try to start a campaign against someone. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm watching people from the reptile community say, yeah, this guy died. Yeah, we got a victory. It's like, would you say the same thing if it happened to Tyler Nolan? Chandler's, I think that's his name, Chandler. I don't watch his channel. I want to say I think that's his name. But you know, like I said, if you wouldn't root for it when they do it, why would you root for it when this guy over here does it? And the fact that he's involved with the roundup doesn't really matter. I mean, like I said, I know ball python breeders that are working on the insides of rattlesnake roundups. Get this, everybody hates snakes crap out of your head because I've just seen a different side. It's not true. I've been to two this year. I'll go to a third one later this month if everything works out. And I'll get more video. I recently dropped a couple of videos from the Waynoka one. I need to work on the videos from the Mangum one, which I was just at. But some of the guys who work the education pits actually like snakes and say good things about them. But they believe they're controlling a population. And the ranchers want them off their land. And when you have private land, you can kind of about do with it what you want. Hang on one second. Can a venomous snake from outside the U.S. survive in the same places as native venomous? I would think in a place like Florida, it probably could, but probably only there. Now, something like a European viper, or like, you know, like Vipera burris, something like that. Those things live in the Swiss Alps. I mean, they tolerate some pretty cold weather. Something like that might be able to set up a population somewhere, but it would be really, really insane for those to get released. Yeah, Iron Dog, I kind of agree. That seems like that's the way it works out. Unless it's a smaller python, then the cobra's going to win. But cobras do have histories of eating pythons. Just the giant ones, it's probably not a good idea. E-Reptile, I probably heard about that story when it broke. I probably just have not really put it two and two together. We've had a lot of escapes. It almost kind of reeks of conspiracy type stuff because I guarantee you some of the animal rights groups would not hesitate to go with your donations. If you donate to those kinds of groups, they will take your donations. They would go buy snakes at a venomous symposium. They would go let them go. I totally believe that's within some animal rights groups' capabilities. I'm not going to call out names, but anyway, I've seen what I've seen. South Florida, thank you, Chris. Someone should make a remote control car. That would be interesting, live feeding ASMR. I've got a backyard swimming pool, and I'm thinking about like snagging like a copperhead or a rattlesnake and throwing it on a floaty and seeing if I can get a video of that. Just because I think it'd be funny, it might go viral. You never know. Yeah, anything that's from a moderate climate is generally not going to survive in the U.S., but also you never know. In Kansas City and all throughout like that area, there's a European lizard called the wall lizard. I want to say it's Lacerda genus, and they have become invasive up there. Down here further south, and probably all over a lot of places in the United States, the Mediterranean or Turkish house gecko has established colonies, and they're breeding, and they are invasive, but also they don't deem them enough of a nuisance to try to combat them. Um, you know, but basically, I really think that celebrating someone's death, even though the person may not see snakes the same way you do, I think it leaves a bad taste in the public's eye. I really do. Um, I wouldn't as much as I'm a dog lover, I hate to see a dog attack that results in someone's severe injury or death. And I'm not saying it's always the dog's fault. There are instances where it's like people instigate dogs or people do things that mess with dogs, and and then they get attacked and then they scream I'm the victim. And but at the same time, you can't let a pit bull chew up grandma and say, yeah, once again, like I said, not everybody involved with roundups hates rattlesnakes. I know people involved with roundups that have 5 to 10 pet rattlesnakes or a colony of ball pythons. It does happen like that. Me being around the culture, I see and kind of understand it. Well, I shouldn't say understand it. I should say I understand how it happens. You know, they hit up some kid who likes messing with snakes, who's in town, and saying, "Hey, let us show you a few things. Can you volunteer for this? Can we count on you to be there every weekend in April or every weekend in March, or May?" And so it's that kind of thing where it's like, you know, as much as I think free handling is disrespectful to the animal and just plain stupid, I'm not going to jump for joy when someone gets bit by a venomous snake and dies. Ever. Look at the bigger picture. And it's kind of funny. People will try to argue with me about this. That's why I'm kind of getting where I just don't say much anymore on some of this stuff. So I've spent over, 13, 14 to 15, probably closer to 15. Yeah, closer to 15 years of my life traveling to roundups, getting footage, studying what goes on there. And then, to have some kid on Facebook trying to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, it's just kind of like, middle finger elevated. Recently with the gas price hike, I went to, me and a friend went down to the Mangum Rattlesnake Derby in Mangum, Oklahoma. And it probably cost about $300 just in gas. Now, granted, I've got a big truck, but it probably cost me about $300. It really is Iron Dog. But it cost me about $300 to get the video and photographs and information that I was able to get from going there. And it was like a 4-hour drive down there, 4-hour drive back. It was absolute pain. I really was not in the mood to make it happen that day. I'm surprised I did. But, more and more Iron Dog, I'm kind of the same way. Facebook is the devil. Especially in the reptile community, man. People are just stupid. And I know this one guy, his name is Tim. And I don't know him real well or anything. He's never let people like me get to know him well. But he will he's a field herper guy. He does do some keeping, but he's predominantly field herping kind of fellow. And he will take a picture and post it on Wild Snakes Education and Discussion, or, North American Field Herping Association, and he will just post his pic and then leave and not even respond to any of the comments, not even read any of the comments. The guy gets some amazing pictures. He's a very, very talented photographer. His name's Tim Spuckler. And if you look him up on Facebook, you'll find him. He probably won't accept your friend request. He might, so if you feel like trying it, go for it. But he publishes photos in on Wild Snakes Education Discussion and North American Field Herping Association, which is two of your bigger groups for wild reptiles. And I'm kind of getting where I'm that way. I just want to shoot a picture, drop it, and leave. And if y'all want to argue about this or out, I'm not going to entertain that. Fake book, LOL, right. Brutus, I'm going to make you a moderator for this channel if that's okay. If it's not, let me know and I will pull it from you. Exactly, Iron Dog. I have some of my smaller croats and pit vipers that I keep in plastic sterilite tubs, and a lot of people are like, well, what kind of substrate do you keep them on? Well, I don't keep them on substrate. I mean, they have hides, and they have like a smooth plastic surface where you got to have substrate. No, you don't. These animals bask on rocks. Plastic is softer than rock. The animal's not hurting because it doesn't have substrate. Now, some species, like something like a sidewinder, would definitely require substrate, or any of your African snakes that burrow in the sand. I would definitely keep those with substrate if I kept them. But, but for whatever reason, to me it's just a lot easier to get your tanks and hides cleaned and stuff, and your things cleaned without substrate. And once again, if you throw a log or a rock in there, chances are they're going to curl up under it or on top of it. So I just don't see the use. Hey, Lee Wilcox, I saw you bump in here, man. I've not been to your channel in a couple of days, but I also have not forgotten about you. But anyway, I'm just kind of on a crusade to start sleeping better, quit doing lives in the middle of the night, drink more water, do what I do. It's just, I just haven't felt like sitting down and editing like a full-length 5 to 8 minute type video. I just haven't got there, and that's okay. I mean, we all kind of do things different ways and have different ways of doing things. What Chris said, or what Iron Dog said, is so true. If you do something that, like a group moderator, a group admin, doesn't agree with, you're out of there. And kind of sad because once again, and the whole pack mentality, I just don't like it. Hey, ASMR, I dropped your link. There it is. It's right above Lee Wilcox's channel. And Ariel dropped it too. Ariel's may be a better link, but either way, that's awesome. You're 5 away from 700 subs. Live feeding ASMR, how long have you had your channel? Do you mind me asking? How long have you had it? I'd like to know. Recommending Sherry to you. She is lovely. Sherry, I'm trying to think who is Sherry. Or maybe you were talking to... Sorry, Lee, you might have been talking to Ariel. I might have got that mixed up. Either way. And I'm kind of about at the point where I'm like, oh, Sherry Lynn Madcat, that's Sherry. Okay, yeah, Sherry's good people. She's like all kinds of good people. I wish I could be on her lives a little more often. Um, okay, live feeding ASMR. If you've had a channel for 5 months with 700 subscribers and only 3 months dropping videos, in my opinion, you're doing very, very well. Like I said, I did I did a lot of videos which I got a lot of compliments on from a lot of people, and I felt like the video quality was really impeccable. The scenes were impeccable. The shots I got in the close-ups, the macros were just amazing. But, you know, like I said, I was rolling on 3 years with like 400 subs before some bigger name people started shouting me out. There's Iron Dog Reptiles that's in the room. I definitely would encourage anyone to listen to him when it comes to YouTube stuff, because, man, the guy's done some serious homework. He talked me into doing shorts. I didn't want to do shorts. And shorts have really boosted my subs on all my channels, not just my reptile stuff, my drone stuff, my dog channel. The shorts bring in a lot of subs. I will say that. I don't know if watching shorts hurts your watch time. It seems like some people are acting like that happens. I really don't know enough about how shorts watch time is tabulated. All I know is it does the watch time from your shorts does not count towards your watch hours. And I don't know if there's a way to check that in studio or not. But when I've pulled up watch time before, I've kind of taken it to be that only from watch time from lives and regular videos is being counted as watch time. Could be wrong. Iron Dog and my Animal House are my mentors. Those are good mentors to have. They definitely helped me with a lot. Derek's Reptiles, he kind of got involved with me on a personal level, and like when I was going through the headache of monetization. And that right there would make me almost, I won't say not want to monetize, but like if another channel of mine got close to monetization, I don't know that I would do it. I mean, I probably would for like my dog channel or something, because it'd be real hard for one of those videos to get flagged. But right now, the huge debate about live feeding, you know, is hopefully settling down some, but it's roaring on. And a lot of good people are having their channels flagged, and they don't deserve that, and they put a lot of work into their videos. And once again, you always can not watch it. But once again, getting back to what Iron Dog said about Facebook groups, is a lot of times, and it happens on YouTube and Instagram as well. It's just, I don't think it's as prevalent, but, you know, once again, I could be missing out on something. But what I've noticed with Facebook is you disagree with someone, and you can even be really, really nice about it and say, hey, I disagree with you on free handling venomous snakes. Here's why. And you can be nice and lay out your argument and never be nasty or ugly, and people will still gang up on you, report your channel. They'll get 30 of their friends to go out and report every video that you've ever made, and they'll make it a hate campaign. But once again, I kind of almost think you should have to have a YouTube channel before you're allowed to report or flag something. Because people, I wouldn't doubt that people are getting rid of their own competition that way. I literally would not doubt that. I didn't know Kurt ever lost his monetization, Iron Dog. I've been kind of out of the loop for a couple of weeks. But but I haven't been a lot of people, or I haven't been tuned in with a lot of people. I mean, I've played like Iron Dogs, I played your recent lives. Ariel, I've got hers, Live Freedom up above, I've got his. I need to get caught up on Mr. J's, ASMR's, Lee's. You know, it is what it is. This time of the year is like very, very busy for me. It's just the snakes are coming out. They're being seen, they're being reported, they're all over the place, they're on the move, they're easy to find. Finding them in the middle of the summer is insane because a lot of things around here estivate. It gets too hot, things go back underground. Yeah, Ariel, I don't know how all the monetization works or how the shorts watch time works and all that stuff. But what I've noticed is a lot of people sub me after I release a short, and it appears to be coming from that short. We all know that the more subs you have, the better chance your video is going to get more higher ranked when you release it. So, I mean, you know, kind of a catch-22. I'm glad I don't do this for a living. My heart kind of goes out to those who do, because I do know some serious YouTube creators with 30,000 subs and up, and they're not reptile people, but they're at risk of demonetization because their kid was in one of their videos or something, and they're trying to switch everybody to YouTube for kids. And I believe you give up your monetization to do that. Once again, I could be wrong. And believe me, I'm not the YouTube guru. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, eesh. And it just seems like YouTube keeps raising the bar. Iron Dog, I totally agree. There's a lot of people out there that try to bash everybody. And once again, I had someone go after me on the North American Field Herping Association because he felt like my video gave away a top secret location. Now, what his dumbass didn't know was I actually filmed the snake that he was worried about at a different location and just spliced it into the video. I'd like to see 1,000 knuckleheads running all over this little part of the park where I said this animal was, and it was a complete fabrication. Sorry, kids, it's entertainment, it's TV, it's wildlife filmmaking. We've all done it. Yeah, and 3 a.m. is here, Iron Dog. I'm actually starting to get drowsy for once, so I'm probably going to call this pretty quick. But yeah, I've had people who didn't know that I've been around the field herping community for 30, 40 years act like I'm the new guy to beat on. To me, it's kind of like a lot of people bash iNaturalist, and for certain species, I understand why. But at the same time, if we don't want people to know where these animals live, why are the same people bashing iNaturalists, holding scientific collector's permits, and contributing to range map extensions? I think it's an absolutely valid question, because certain species, if you find them in a certain county, you may be able to Google Earth that county and see, well, let's see, there's maybe 1 or 2 habitats in this entire county that could even withhold or hold this species, or where this species could survive. So why not let's just do away with range maps altogether? Once again, I understand endangered and highly field collected species. I get it. iNaturalist can be a catch-22. But I use it all the time to get like spider IDs, frog IDs, and stuff that I don't really want to mess with. I mean, I know all our snakes pretty well. I've recently looking at taking an admin or moderator position with a snake identification group in Oklahoma, and just because I'm kind of like just because like they're like, hey, can you help us out? And I'm like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Hey, Lou B. Hey, loved your latest. Lou B, give you a hammer. Lou B, I'm adding you as a moderator. Drop a link to your latest video in this channel or in the chat. Please feel free to do so. I really like that. Oh, thank you, Ariel. That's Lou B's channel. And he did a recent video of him swimming with the great white sharks, and he's like filming them with a drone. It's just insane. And then he includes some herping in it. It's just absolutely great. Luby747. You might have guessed he's a pilot. He's also an excellent short filmmaker, in my opinion, one of the best. Yeah, I imagine it did take a while to edit that last one. It's great stuff. Yeah, Golemon, sorry, normally I don't have a lot of trolls here. We generally get rid of them as soon as they pop up because I just don't like messing with them. Luby's new video, thanks Iron Dog. That's a good one. And also that one of him, I can't remember what he called, but something to do with great white sharks. It's got to be his second or third most newest. God, I'm starting to sound bad. But anyway, you know, it's just kind of, Lou makes some amazing films. Very, very entertaining. I never have a problem watching any of his videos start to finish. He just draws it all together and pulls the storyline through. Yeah, the shark video was awesome. The shark video is the one I'm talking about, Yarn Dog. I love that one. And then he got the herp stuff at the end. Thank you, Ariel, for sharing your latest video. Ariel, please always, you do so much for me and my channels. I'll never forget to promote your own stuff while you're on my lives, especially if I've got some people with some names you don't know. Maybe you can pick up some new subs that way or pick up some new views. Hey, Boa Man, how are you doing? Man, I went to check out your new snake video that you said you did, and I think you'd already pulled it. Or it wasn't there. Love your snakes, Boa Man. Please leave your videos up. I mean, like, if you need to take them down for some reason or another, I understand that. But man, it might be 2 or 3 days before I see your comments. YouTube's notifications are wacky. We all know this. Hey, thank you, Live Feeding ASMR, for subbing Ariel. Live Feeding, my apologies. I was not subbed to you from this channel. I am now. You should, Boa Man, because some of them are actually pretty good. You're just showing your snake or holding your snake around your shoulders or something. And when you have an awesome snake, it you know, it's awesome. So, and Boa Man, I've been following you on YouTube for years. I mean, literally, I remember your old channel from like 2011, 2012, which I'm not trying to like dig up stuff, but I remember like a lot of the drama and stuff you went through, some of them people, and yeah, that kind of stuff can happen. You kind of got to let it roll off your shoulders. But Boa Man has been around YouTube a long time. And I want to say you're in your early 20s, Boa Man. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you were making videos at an early age. I remember that. And whatnot. But Ariel, once again, double message. Always promote your channel in any of my lives. You've got my explicit permission. And guys, everybody sub everybody. I actually was not waiting for the shark to attack the surfer because I didn't think they would. Just had a hunch. Although, if that would have happened and Lou would have got that on video, it probably would have went off the charts. I don't know that he would have even released it. Lou's definitely high up on the moral scruples ladder, I would say, as far as, you know, keeping things that are sensational or tacky out of his videos. In my opinion, feel free to visit his channel, form your own opinion. He does make some great videos, as does Ariel, as does Iron Dog, as does Live Feeding ASMR, as does Boa Man 5435. Gang, my voice is starting to go. I just wanted to do like an impromptu live. You'll have a new full-length video coming from me hopefully soon within the next couple of weeks. I'm just kind of not feeling it. I'm kind of like done so much editing that I'm just kind of like, take a break for a while. But gang, I am going to start heading out of here. If you... I turned on the comments for this live, and for some reason, they are not on. The chat's on, but to leave a comment after the video is not on. I will correct that as soon as I get off here tonight. So anyone that wants to leave a comment on the issue can. And oh, gang, also, I started this channel to document the roundup stuff. So I could have it there, so I could, like, really? You say you guys don't do this? Well, here's video you guys doing this. So I could just at least win the argument. On those videos that are shot at roundups, they generate so much hate, negativity. And I don't get me wrong, I understand why. But that's why I keep the comments closed on all of them, is I don't want to go through and filter, this comment's okay, this comment's not okay. It's just a lot easier for me if I just upload the video. And then when I get in a debate with someone about something, which I always try to keep friendly, they say, you've never been to our show. Oh, really? I was there in 2016. I was there in 2009. Here's a link. I shot this video. It's my name at the end. So just note if you guys, and once again, if you don't want to check out the roundup videos, I understand that too, because a lot of unnecessary risks are being taken there. But I do feel it is important to document. But everyone, Brad, thank you for stopping in. Survival and Life Freedom, two guys from my other side of the globe. Thank you guys for stopping in. Iron Dog, I kind of get that, and that's not a bad point. But what I was getting was a lot of like obscenity, profanity. I hate these people. I want to kill these people. And then I'm sitting there thinking, how long before the video gets reported? And don't get me wrong, like with videos like that, I'm not relying on those videos to bring me views, although the one that monetized this channel was shot at a roundup. But I'm not relying on, the roundup videos to like make me any money or anything. It'd be nice if they would make me some more money, but at the same time, it's just like, the next thing you know, people are calling people slurs and things, and you know how the comments section of YouTube is, Iron Dog. So for me, I just find it easier on videos like that to just turn the comments section off. If they don't get viewed, they don't get viewed. That's fine. I've got them if I need them. I could age restrict them. Live feeding ASMR, I would definitely defer to Iron Dog on this. But one thing I would be on the lookout for, and that's another good point, Iron Dog. When I see someone hiding their subscriber account, I go, why? I mean, it's kind of like the thumbs up and the thumbs down button. I'm so mad that YouTube took that away, because a lot of times when something with a really contemporary title that, like of a movie that's trending or something, or reaction videos, if you got and see it's got like hundreds of thumbs down and like 3 thumbs up, it's like not worth clicking on. They kind of taken away from that. Age restricted does indeed hurt the revenue. You're found that video is automatically ineligible for ads at that point, is my understanding. See you, Mr. J. And gang, I'm gonna go ahead. It seems like I had one other thing I wanted to kick out, but one thing. Oh, live. One thing I would watch out for live feeding ASMR is people leaving comments on your channel that, like, I've seen racial slurs. I've seen, I hate these people. I want to kill them all. Stuff like that. I mean, like, if it's just debate and exchange of ideas, one thing. Stuff like that. Once again, I know the comment itself can get reported. I don't know that affects your video, but at the same time, with me, it's just not worth my time and headache to mess with it. And then people are like, well, you think like this and you think like that and you say this and you say that. Once again, it goes back to, I make myself available in other areas. And and exactly, I've seen people put in stuff in comments, and I'm pretty sure it's gotten videos pulled before. I can't concretely, prove that. I can't say that I have evidence of that, but it seems like the only thing that was controversial in this person's life happened in the comments section, and then that video got pulled, or that video got demonetized. I'm a little leery. And once again, like I said, I reiterated, I do this wanting to make money. I'm money-grubbing scum. I like money. Money buys beer. It pays for the electric bill. Money is very useful. But like at the same time, I don't have to do this for money. And if I was doing this for money, I wouldn't do controversial stuff. So, yeah, and Iron Dog's right. You can do a word filter. So, like, you can filter out certain words, and that's not a bad idea either. I have seen people like spell out like racial slurs in live chats and stuff, like one letter at a time, and I think that's like they're trying to get that channel flagged or whichever. But it's like I do think that's happened before, where people's videos have at least gotten some YouTube censor attention because of comments left in the chat or left in flags, or or left on a video after the case. Right on, Ariel. I know you do, and I've been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about you and your plight. And once again, I've got friends with channels, like I said, 30, 40,000 subs. They have invested a ton of money, and now they're getting told their videos they can't make because of YouTube's COPPA stuff, which I understand that from the YouTube side, they're going to cover their butts. But anyway, it's a great big stupid world, kids. We're all stuck on it for a while, so let's make the best of it. Thank you guys for stopping by my live tonight. Please hit the thumbs up on the way out. It would be greatly appreciated by me. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to try and get in bed pretty quick, so I'll be in touch. Thank you guys for everything.